It's now time for NRG This Week. NRG stands for Network Referral Group. To learn more about NRG, go to their website, nrg.online. It's now time for another episode of NRG This Week.
Hey everybody, Mike Weiner here, NRG CEO and founder with another episode of NRG This Week. It's July 22nd, 2026, coming from Maryland. My partner here, Leon, is not going to be here. I do want to mention racquetballrevival.com. It's an amazing program Leon's put together. It's really caught a lot of momentum, and it's from young kids to adults. They do a lot more than racquetball. They do mentoring and coaching and fellowship, and just want to give Leon a shout out. Leon also did the my wedding with Tanya 9 months ago, and amazing job, the Leon Thomas group. So if you're looking for events, Leon is amazing to be able to do those events for you. As far as my company, NRG, we just completed 25 and a half years. Is that crazy? Time just flies, but we are having more momentum. I am more excited than ever. I know you guys know that I'm all about excitement and law of attraction. And my wife said to me about a month ago, Mike, you're growing. It must be this law of attraction. And I go, Tanya, you don't really believe in it. And she goes, I do now, because you're serving people and it's growing. And Tanya's right. We've had 4 new members come in today, several more getting ready to sign up. We're a family. We are way more than a networking organization. You come, you get 3 referrals at your first meeting, and then once you join, you get 30. I recommend 10. You can reach out to me at 443-756-9656. The reason I'm going to recommend we just do 10 at first, Shoshana has the NRG Guinness, get the word out, Book of Records. The 10 I did for Shoshana turned into 98. Is that crazy? So there's my number. My email is mike@networkreferralgroup.com. And you can always go on the website, nrg.online. But come out, check us out. We are growing rapidly. Got a big event, extravaganza, September 18th. Elena Schwartz, I'm going to do my best to have her on a call here really soon. And reach out to me. But I'm going to now go ahead and we're going to bring Ayana on to Studio 54, as I like to say, keeping disco alive. Ayana is also here in the great state of Maryland. So Ayana, I know you've had a busy day. How are you doing today?
I am doing amazingly well. I love that NRG, we can meet in person. So I was just with another member. We went to 2 events together. Then I came on down here and doing this interview, this conversation. So I'm doing quite amazingly.
Awesome. So, you came to me through our Chief Holistic Officer, Swami. As soon as I met you, I was like, this lady is, what you're doing is you're shaping kids into adults. And there's really a huge need, because you and I have gone through that when you were a teenager. Mm-hmm. You got this rebellious streak, and you need someone. Sometimes mom and dad are not the ones to get it done, and you can step in as a neutral person. So take 2-3 minutes, talk about your organization and what you do, kind of the bigger picture, and then we're going to dig in deeper. But I'm pumped to have you here. And the other day you were on a Zoom, and I'm like, I gotta get you on NRG This Week. So I'm really excited you're here. I've had a very busy day, but I was looking forward to this because I don't have to do all the talking now. Take 2-3 minutes, talk about what you do.
Alrighty. So thank you for having me again. So I work with 2 different age groups. So the younger students are 6 to 13. And what I do with them is primarily helping them develop confidence, social skills, leadership skills, and public speaking skills primarily through games like Roblox and Minecraft. So keeping them safe, but also creating spaces where they can interact with each other and learn real skills. So that looks like gaming clubs, all virtual, that looks like one-on-one coaching, as well as courses all through the games. I also have books as well, because literacy skills are something that we need to be promoting, as well as critical thinking skills, because I believe that critical thoughts lead to imagination, rather leads to critical thought. So I'm always trying to find ways to encourage their imagination. And then the second set, for young women specifically from 16 to 23, I do high touch one-on-one coaching to remind them that you're going to college with the intention to graduate, hopefully on time, and definitely with honors if possible. And so I act as a big sister role, so that way they can tell me things that they don't want to tell their parents, and then also run things by me that they shouldn't be asking their friends, because they might not have the lived experience to give them good advice. So basically, just to put that in an umbrella, I like to say that I am a virtual big sister, because it takes a village to raise a child. So I'm just helping to create a virtual village so that I can help make sure that the next generation makes better decisions early on in life.
You're so right. It does take a village to raise children. So I love what you're doing. I took a lot of notes. Virtual big sister, love that. Ayana, there's got to be a backstory. I love this question. Why did you decide to do this? It's so needed. It's so unique. It's so amazing. You know, I've seen a lot of different businesses. You've turned it into a business, but you're similar to me. You want to help. You're like, how can I help you? What was the backstory of why you started this?
Great question. So I am a big sister in real life. And with me and my siblings that I grew up with, because my parents got divorced, there's a 10-year age gap. So I was like an auntie sister in a way, because of that large age gap. And one way that I connected with my siblings, especially when they were younger, was through gaming. And so then I started connecting with my cousins and younger cousins, all these different young people through gaming. And I realized that was a really good way and an easy way to build trust quickly with them. And then also one of my sisters, because I always take them out on individual dates, she was like, yeah, but every time we go somewhere, we have a deep conversation. And I'm like, because I'm a deep person. So I take advantage of, once I build the trust, to influence them in positive ways. And then for the older students, I had a cousin who moved to another country when she was in high school, and she like started sending me Instagram messages. Oh, the Instagram link, perfect time. She started sending me Instagram messages like, I'm struggling here. I don't know anybody, because it's a whole new country, and she was in high school. So we started meeting weekly, and I didn't think anything of it. It was just me being a big cousin. But I started to think, I wonder if there's a world where other people need this, like where other people need a big sister and other students need help. And I always tell my clients and my siblings to be who you wish you had for someone else. And I always wished my whole life I had a big sister. And I was like, if I had a big sister, I could ask her this and she would tell me this and she would help me with all these different things. So I became who I wish I had for my siblings, my cousins, my family. And then I just figured, I'm sure other people need this too. So that's how I got started.
I love the backstory. I love the backstory. So I know that you working with females 15 to 22, 23. That's got to be a challenge. You know that show Family Feud where they would go top three answers are? I want you to give us, and we're recording this and it's going to go live. So someone could see this in a day, a week, 10 years, 15 years. What are the top three? And if you only have one or two, what are the top three challenges that females 15 to 23 have? In my head, I'm thinking peer pressure or drug temptation, but maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong. What would you say are the top three challenges that 15 to 23-year-old females are having? Because that's a tough age.
Yeah. So the first thing I would say would be, like you said, peer pressure, but in the way of like self-esteem and body image. There's a whole world in the beauty industry telling young women and young men, but a lot about young women, like how they should look, how much they should weigh, how their hair should look, what type of clothing they should wear, how they think, how they should act in public, how they should look max, all of this pressure built around how they should look. And when you don't look like the quote unquote standard that everyone is saying beauty is, it hurts. So when you feel like you're not a beautiful woman, there's a lot of internal things that come through that, because you're seeing this vision of, oh, this is what I'm supposed to look like, and I'm not like that, or I'm different. And sometimes young people feel like different is bad, but they don't realize just because you're different doesn't mean there's anything wrong with you. So I would say number one would be peer pressure and the ways to conform and look like this ideal quote unquote standard that is not even attainable, because even like the celebrities are getting surgery and are using Photoshop. So they don't even look the way that they look on socials. The second thing that I would say would be the ability to say no and to stand up for themselves and to speak their voices. A lot of young women especially are taught that you have to consider everyone else's thoughts before your own. And you have to try to be nice and you have to try to be accommodating. And I always tell my girls, and they say we're adults now, so the clients that I work with at that age group, like, you don't have to be nice to someone that's being rude and disrespectful to you. Now, you don't want to have an attitude and be disrespectful and all this type of stuff, but you can be polite and stern and still hold your boundaries. So reminding young women that it's okay to say no. No is a complete sentence, and other people can feel uncomfortable, not just you. It doesn't mean that you go out of your way to like seek revenge on people, because I used to do that. I've matured a lot in my life, but you don't have to go like scorch the earth, but you do have to establish boundaries and make sure that your needs are being met. And then the third thing I would say is understanding what a friend is versus an acquaintance versus a buddy versus a classmate versus a best friend. A lot of times young people, they want to have so many friends, and so you might overlook the red flags. You might overlook the bad treatment and just say, oh, well, that's just how they are. But perhaps that's how they are, and maybe that's a sign that you need to put some distance between you and that person. So understanding how to compartmentalize, and as my mom would say, don't paint the red flags green. And when they see something that's glaring and a big issue, stop trying to, again, go back to the second one, stop trying to be nice and overlook the bad things and accept that you don't have to be rude. You don't have to be disrespectful or get an attitude, but you can say, hey, I need some space.
Love that answer. Love that. Thank you. I took some notes again on that. That was amazing. I'm going to ask you one more question, then we're going to take a commercial break. So you come to this NRG meeting. I know it can be very overwhelming. I always kid now. I talk fast. I listen faster. What would be your NRG testimony? You've been with me a short time, really still developing the relationships. What would be your, take 2-3 minutes, what would be your NRG testimonial?
I would say that for me, it's more so about exposure and meeting new people and people in different industries and like learning what other people are doing. Like I said, because of NRG, I met Cheryl, and then she invited me to another event, and then we went to that, and then we went to another event after that. Then I like drove here quickly back to get on this call. So that for me was surprising. I thought it was going to be more so like business oriented, but to be able to cultivate relationships that don't just exist virtually and getting to know her. And then she exposed me to these other people. It's like a web. And I don't know, like I'm big on like words. So like NRG to me sounds like energy. So just being in an energy space where people are supportive and want the best for each other, and it can go beyond just traditional networking, I think has been a very surprising, amazing thing. And I got in a magazine too from NRG. So
Bobby.
It's the energy. Yeah, thank you to Bobby if you ever see this, but it's the energy that's surprising and I really appreciate as well.
You know, Bobby Price and I go back quite a bit. He's done phenomenally well, and NRG will probably be our next lifetime member. So I love that answer, and you've been a huge asset to NRG. Looking forward to years of working together, and looking forward to meeting you and Cheryl live here. So we are going to take a commercial break, and then on the other side of this, we're going to talk to Ayanna a little bit more about her business, and we're going to find out her favorite sports team. And Leon, I've added something new, favorite disco song. So We will be right back after this commercial break.
At Rod's Car Repairs, we work on all cars, old cars, new cars, and your car. Car Repairs by Rod.io.
Baked by Brianna has been your Baltimore hometown bakery since 1969. Located in Roxton Plaza, Baked by Brianna. Visit bakedbybrianna.io.
From the creative team that brought you the Browning Project and Dead by Morning comes a new thriller that will change the way you look at white-collar crime forever. Falling from the Sky.
Water. It's everywhere. We drink it, we bathe with it, we cook with it. Coffee's made with water. Toilets won't flush without it. It's used for washing clothes, dishes, utensils, pots, pans, floors, and our teeth. Plants and crops need water, animals drink it, and fish need it too. And don't forget, we can have a lot of fun in the water. Water. What will we do without it?
I'm Leon Thomas with the Leon Thomas Group. Podcast, virtual events, webinars, streaming shows, and so much more. We want to be your partner in all things virtual.
We are back with Ayana having a great conversation. Ayana, I've got a question for you. This is a really intriguing one. What have I not asked you that you'd like to take 2-3 minutes and talk about? It could be something you want to go deeper. It could be something else that we just haven't even covered. But what would you, and it could be personal, but most people usually hit on the business something of that I haven't asked you. So what would you like to talk about that Mike Weiner has not asked you here today?
All right, so I'll say two things. The first thing is that back in the day, if your child was out of sight, all you would think about is make sure they get home before the streetlights came on. Because as long as your house was safe, for the most part, your child would be safe at home. That is no longer the case because of virtual gaming, Roblox, and things. They can be talking to someone miles and miles away, and you won't know sometimes until a scary situation comes and happens. So just make sure that you guys are monitoring what your children are doing on these platforms, Roblox, Minecraft, any digital virtual game, because children are innocent and they think that everyone is just as innocent as they are, and that's not the case. So just make sure that you guys are really paying attention. And I'm biased. I think that I have the best clubs, but I'm not the only game in town. So please, just if your child loves to play video games, perhaps consider putting them in a virtual gaming club. So that way someone can monitor and supervise just to make sure that they're playing safely. The second thing is, I would just say for parents in general to remember that this is a whole different world for your children. So just try to be gentle, understanding, and compassionate, because if you are like that and your child feels seen, safe, and heard when talking to you, they will naturally open up. A lot of parents will say, oh, such and such doesn't talk to me anymore. Try just being a bit more gentle. Try playing a game with them, whether they're older or younger, somewhere in between. You'll be very, very shocked when you show interest in their world and you're playing the games that they want to play. You'll be shocked at how much easier they are and more willing they are to let you into bigger things when you connect with them in their own world. So that's what I would say.
You know, I just wrote 2 words down: be gentle. Because I think a lot of times parents are so I remember my parents were loving and compassionate, and I mean they'd be stern when they needed to be, but be gentle can go a long way. It's a lot with law of attraction. The more you put out there, and look, we've all had bad days.
Right.
Sometimes we wake up this morning. You were talking about being tired earlier, and I woke up. I was a little tired, a little cranky, and you know what? It's like, all right, it's another day. Sunshine is out. We had a big storm in Maryland last night, and kind of cleared it out. But I love that. Be gentle. That's really good. So we're gonna have a little fun now. You and I both live in Maryland. I love the Orioles, even though they're playing there. I love the Ravens, even though everybody's on Lamar's case to win a Super Bowl because he promised that when he got out of the draft. What is your favorite? We're gonna stick with baseball and football. I don't really basketball, hockey, not my gig, not my jam. I know the new word the kids use, not my jam. What is your favorite team? I'm gonna hope it's a local team here, but we're gonna see.
Oh, righty. So I'm not really a sports person. I only like going to the games to like yell and scream. So I will. This might. I don't know what this says about me, but my favorite team is anytime I go somewhere and it's the home team, I always root for the other team just because it's funny. People in the stands, it like causes everyone to talk and they're like, whose team are you on? And I just always go with whoever the opposing home team is. So I don't know what that says about me as a person, but my favorite team is, I don't have one. It's just like if I'm somewhere and the home team is playing, I'll go for the other team just because I like the conversation.
Your favorite team is the visitors. That's who it is. It's the visitors. It's whoever's visiting. So do you, like, if you're at Yankee Stadium, are you wearing a Red Sox hat if they're playing? Because you might get in trouble with that stuff.
Well, if the people are too aggressive, I'll switch sides and I'll just say I'm on everybody's team. But if they're
I'm taking this hat off, you
right.
Bring two hats. You bring the Yankees and the Red Sox. All right, I know you didn't go through the disco age, but I'm going to ask you, do you have a favorite disco song? And if you don't, I'm going to give you a couple of. I took a little survey of NRG members about a month ago. "Staying Alive" by the Bee Gees was NRG's disco song, but my favorite one is "Get Down on It" from Kool and the Gang. Do you remember that? Do you know that song?
Yeah, I do know that song.
All right, what's your favorite song?
My favorite, disco. I think it was by Earth, Wind and Fire, "Boogie Wonderland."
Boogie Wonderland, great song. They had another hit, "September."
Yeah.
"After the Love Is Gone." Norman Wasserman, who's in NRG, does tribute bands, and Earth, Wind, and Fire is one of those. But they also had another song. My favorite by them was "Fantasy." I'm a big music buff.
I like that.
Remember "Fantasy"? That's my favorite one. Now that you bring up Boogie Wonderland, that's my second favorite now because I would have said "September," but I love your answer. So that's awesome. So it's been a pleasure having you on. I've really enjoyed it. I took a page of notes, and guys, watch out. I'm calling her the next Oprah Winfrey. So I know there's great things going for you, and Tanya are excited to meet you and Cheryl. We just got to get a date set up, and we're going to have a lot of fun. So thank you for being here. I'm going to wrap us up here today on NRG This Week. If you have not been to a meeting, come out. You are going to be blown away. It's family, it's community, it's productivity. When you go to a networking group and they don't give you a name and a number, but I give names and numbers, and then I make the three-way intro. Because calling somebody, you're going to get voicemail. I call it voice jail. And I do the three-way text intro, and people respond. So right now, I would say is the best time ever. We've got a lot going on. I'm going to have my cell number one more time, and then we're going to wrap. 443-756-9656. Jay, you're amazing. Been a great show. We will be back next week. I already know who my guest is. NRG This Week. Have a great week. Casey Kasem used to say, keep your feet on the ground, keep reaching for the stars. That's what I always think about. So we will see you next week. And as Rex Barney used to say in Baltimore, Thank you.